Welcome to the Uneven Line podcast. We're so glad you're here. Hey, listen, this is episode 7, and according to the Bible, number 7 means the number of completion.
Yes.
So I guess we have officially arrived because we are episode 7.
7? Yes.
7's been good, man. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that we've been able to do this. And
Yeah,
you guys have
been a
been
lot of
here.
fun.
They've
Yeah.
been with us the whole way, and it's been a great experience. We hope that today that you guys you got a good cup of coffee. I got a better cup this week than I did 2 weeks ago. What you got in that cup?
I'm drinking black coffee today.
Black coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
Your voice just got deeper when you said that.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, it always does. I got black coffee.
Hey, I guess that's how that works.
Well, I mean, I feel like I can hang out with the older guys.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna hang out with the older guys with no creamer in your coffee.
Listen, Pawpaw,
I drink
I
it
never
behind
forget.
their back.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know if it's just my generation, but I can't have more than a few cups of coffee a day. But I know one thing. It's like Pawpaw would always have that green Stanley, and you hear that as he's undoing it every time, and he'd always be like, hey, and he'd use the cap too. I don't even know if you ever washed the cap. I think on a coffee thermos, you don't wash a coffee thermos.
No, I every time I put
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him.
Well, he may not.
I'm talking. It just keeps the flavor. It's kind of like a cast iron skillet. You got to season that thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you drink black coffee, you got to season it with. Just leave the old coffee in that thing. Just let the flavor just.
If you run out of coffee
robust.
with a thermos like that, you fill up with water and put it on the dash of the truck.
Yeah, that's right. Shake it up. You give it the shake
it up.
Dump it out. There you go.
No, you just drink it then.
You drink the water.
Yeah, just drink the water.
right.
It's got.
Or you could just, instead of going to buy coffee grounds, you go reach in that old fire pit that you done burn all that wood, and you got that old black charcoal, grind it up, beat it into powder, and then just mix it with water. It's the same thing. Tastes the same to me.
There you go. There you go, Pawpaw. What you think about that?
He probably won't agree. And good thing is he probably won't listen. Well, he's been listening.
Listens to every
He's
one
been
of them.
listening to all the podcasts.
Yes.
Sorry,
So you're in
Pawpaw.
trouble.
I'm just
You're in
kidding. I drink black coffee
I would
too.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't drink creamer. Creamer's for not me. The creamer's not for me. Just kidding.
Okay, yeah.
All right, that's a lie. I gotta tell the truth.
Okay.
Anyway, so listen, today we got a show for you, and we hope you guys are, if you're on your commute to work, I hope you have a great Tuesday. I hope you're having a good day, and listen, if your day ain't good by now, we hope it is after the end of this show.
Good deal.
So, but hey, all right, so I want to jump into, because today I want to keep the episode just a tad short. Last week we went a little long, or the last episode.
It's the fun. You just can't help.
I can't
just
stop.
keep rolling
Yeah.
on with it.
And you don't realize, I mean, when I'm preaching, I wish it was this easy when preaching. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I can tell 3 or 4 stories. I'll be in an hour in, but
Yeah.
when I'm preaching, it's a little different. But either way, so I want to jump into a story. So it's one of my favorite stories that I know about. Your story is a little different. So a lot of you saw my granddad on the show a couple weeks ago. We did 2 episodes with him. Great episodes. He caught the state record mullet, which is true.
It's actually your Uncle Michael's the one that got that.
Uncle Michael caught that. Okay.
Yeah.
And Pawpaw, he's caught some of the biggest shell cracker you've ever seen in your life. He's probably the best fly fisherman you've ever seen. But I will say this that is your stepdad.
Right.
Technically.
He's the man that raised me.
Yeah.
But I love my biological father, which is his name's Mike Kelly. But I got a brother named Mike Kelly, but I had 3 uncles, there was 3 fishermen in the family. Yeah.
So we want to give honor to both my granddad and my other granddad, both Pawpaw Kelly and Pawpaw. And today I want you to tell the story about Pawpaw Kelly, because we grew up. I mean, the fishermen are kind of rough cats sometimes. At least in the old days. Now, I mean, charter fishing is a little bit different than it used to be, or commercial fishing.
It was
by the way, Apalachicola Bay. Did you hear they reopened up the oyster fishing?
Yes.
Come on, listen.
Yes.
I want to tell y'all, if you're listening to this, you aren't from Florida. You're not from the Panhandle. My mom is from Apalachicola, and so I take a lot of pride in it. There ain't much to be a whole lot. I mean, I love Appalachia, and Appalachia is actually starting to become more of a
kind of a touristy. Yeah,
it's kind of
bed
more
and
touristy
breakfast
now.
type thing. Yeah.
And so, but I would tell you this that. Listen, if you have never had an Apalachicola Bay oyster, forget Cedar Key, forget them ones that come from, is it Cedar Key in Texas?
There's Texas, and then there's
forget Texas, forget Louisiana, forget all them oysters that come from down in South Florida.
Yeah,
you don't let nothing touches an Apalachicola Bay oyster.
That's the premier oyster.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna pay more money. They're bigger, they're saltier.
Well,
man.
You got a place that's got four tides a day. or, two highs, two lows.
Yeah.
And then we had a little stand of oyster, and me and your Uncle Michael back in the day. And, what a hard, those guys work hard.
Yeah.
And that they've been closed for 5 years.
Yeah.
So to let the crop grow back up and
well, that's how good it was, because the demand was so high. They had depleted the number of oysters, and so they had to bring it. They had to put a season close on it for years, and they finally opened it up. Did they ever open? That's beside the point. That's not even what this podcast is about. But I'll tell you, if you've never had an Apalachicola Bay oyster, you better go ahead, find a place, drive down to the Panhandle, enjoy Panama City Beach, and go find you a place that has Apalachicola Bay oysters, and at least eat them before they close it down again, because I imagine that if they don't regulate it,
they're going to regulate it really good.
I'm sure. I hope they do, because man, I've missed some Apalachicola Bay oysters.
Yes.
And just eating them everywhere else ain't quite the same. But you go get you. This is debatable. And if you're listening to this, I want you to go to our Facebook page and whatever. I might even start a poll: Crystals or Frank's hot sauce. Now I want to tell you, I'm a Frank's man.
I'm going to tell you,
but people keep calling me Yankee for liking Frank's hot sauce. But I think if you like Crystals, you might as well go ahead and get you some sugar and ketchup, and you pour all over your, because it's the same thing. Look, ain't no.
I mean, Crystals was all right, and it was the best thing we had till Frank's came along. And I do like Frank's. Now Frank's is more of it's a cayenne pepper base versus something else, whatever the Crystals is. But it's good, Louisiana hot sauce, that kind of thing. Whatever you want, use it.
I know. What like a Frank's. I mean, Crystals is made out of. I think it's made out of like tomatoes or something. Because it ain't no good. Okay, well, Frank's hot sauce is the way to go. The vinegar, the spice is so good. But
unless you own Crystals, we can change. We can cut this.
I can
out.
be persuaded to.
Yeah, we can cut this part out.
Here. Yeah, it'll sound something like this. Listen, have you ever had a Crystals hot sauce? I just want you to know you ain't never had a oyster until you've had it with Crystals hot sauce.
I tell you what, Crystals hot sauce is so good. You put it on a piece of bark. It's good too.
That's right. It's like 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
But it's like oyster and hot sauce equals delicious.
That's 100%.
Okay.
True.
But if it's oyster and anything other than that, it's 1 + 1 = none. Because you're not having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, look, we ain't doing a whole bunch of arithmetic.
That's what it would sound like.
No, and
we're not sponsored by Frank's. So Frank's, please sponsor us before Crystals
does. Good.
Because
somebody's going to fill the void.
I want to tell the truth, to be honest with you. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, but we come from a long line of fishermen. Mom's family is fishermen, oysterers, shrimpers.
Yeah.
And then you guys are, your side of the family is more of commercial fishing, charter fishing.
Yes.
And just, getting on them. So, kind of tell me this story, and we're going to come off with a bang. So y'all get ready for this.
Yeah.
Papa Kelly went fishing, and you what? How 4 years old?
I was probably 4.
Tell the story.
So this is a thing. When I was a little boy, and this is the story how I remember it now. And it's honestly, it's not I ain't even lying story. This is a story how I remember it. So at Panama City back in the day, you had St. Andrews Marina. You had Smith Yacht Basin and St. Andrews Marina. I'm talking about now. There's some wonderful restaurants down there, and the marinas are still there, but it's not like it used to be.
This ain't the same Captain Anderson's marina. It's a different
Captain Anderson's is across on the beach, but back in the day, you went to St. Andrews. That was the place to get on a boat and go fishing.
Okay.
And, the thing about my dad, Mike Kelly, he was one of the ones that dove like on, there's a wreck out there called the Tarpon. Mm-hmm. And there was a student named Bill Tant. You can look him up. He was a diver that became friends with my dad. And my dad done some of the first diving around the area that was unbelievable, the diving they done. He dove on that Tarpon. And my dad had the captain's binoculars. He had all kind of stuff off this ship. And I've even seen people have like glass cases with a bottle with coral that came off this direct the Tarpon.
Yeah.
Well, my dad had cases of those bottles. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's unbelievable the stuff he had gotten from diving. Well, he done all kind of stuff when he started commercial fishing when he was a young boy, 13, 14 years old. And so he would fish around there. And so my Uncle Buddy had a boat, my Uncle Pat, and my dad. And so as they got older, they ran them. But when I was born, and he was already a boat captain, and so I was probably 4 years old, and he was running a boat at the Holiday Lodge, which that's when you cross the Hathaway Bridge going toward the beach. Once you get on the beach side,
Right where the port is?
no, right there where that condo is. Once you cross onto the beach side, there's a condo there. But there
Right
was
where close to Dolphin Bay.
but before you can get there, right there on the water. Yeah.
Same area. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about right when you cross Hathaway Bridge, right there. There's a condo there, and so at the Holiday Lodge, he ran this boat called the Blue Men. I'll never forget it. And so we would go over there. Me and my mom would ride, and my brother would ride over there and pick him up in the afternoons from his trip. I think we had a car that was broke down or something. But I never forget it. One day we come in and we was waiting, and I started looking, and I see the boat coming, and I could see the tail of this huge marlin. You know, they hang them by the tail up the flying bridge. They hang them down. And so I was looking at this marlin. I thought, man, this is the biggest fish I've ever seen in my life, you know.
Yeah.
And so I got to noticing when they got to backing in, I was standing on the dock watching, and I saw my dad's leg on his shin was bleeding. And I thought, what in the world happened to him? So I said, Daddy, what happened to you? And so he said, you know, and I didn't realize this. Now, when you hook into these big marlins, you'll fight them for a long time, maybe 5 or 6 hours. And so sometimes when they take a run, you can take up a lot of line when they're running toward the boat. And this fish is running toward the boat. And I'm talking 400 or 500, maybe 600 pound marlin. I can't even imagine, but it was huge, really wide, and you know, had some girth to him and long. And so he's running straight toward the boat, and instead of turning, his bill, when he was about to jump right at the boat, his bill come out of the water, and he rammed the back of the boat with his bill with such force that it went through the stern and through the floor that my dad was standing on back there, and somebody else was reeling him in. He's standing there, and that bill comes through the floor and stabs my dad in the shin of his leg.
Like in his leg.
In his leg. So he's bleeding off his leg. So now think about this. They could not get the marlin pulled back out of the boat. They had to break the bill off. And when they backed in, I could see there was no bill. It was only about a foot long of bill, or less than that was there. Yeah. So my dad ended up getting blood poison in his leg, and they had to had to get it doctored on and all that stuff. But the interesting thing about this was probably a year or 5 years or whatever time later, he had told someone about this. And so a guy called him on the phone and said, Mike, I got to tell you something. He said, I didn't really believe you that bill was in the boat. He said, but we had it on the waves, which is dry dock. They were doing some work on it, and the guy was down in the bilge of the Blue Men boat, and the bill was still in the stern. So what they had done is they had sanded it off at the stern and at the floor and painted back over it, but the bill was still in the boat. Now, the interesting thing about this was the guy that owned the restaurant, that actually owned the Holiday Lodge Marina, there was a restaurant there, he wanted the fish to have it mounted. And so a lot of times back then, they use the tail and the fins. A lot of stuff's reproduction, but back then they used a lot more parts than what they do now. Now you get a fiberglass fish. So he has this fish mounted, and he's sitting on the wall in that restaurant. And it would be behind this guy's table. He had his own table, he ran a restaurant. And the fish fell off the wall and broke the guy's arm.
You're no way.
That's the story I heard as a boy. Broke his arm. I mean, this fish, now if I was telling a yarn, I'd say that joker flopped around there and got in the water and swam off. But no, he fell off and broke the guy's arm. So, I mean, think about this.
That joker was still fighting, and he was dead. He'd been dead for a while.
Oh, yeah, it was a tough marlin. And that was back before they had these tournaments and stuff. And
before what they call that, the Bay Point.
Yeah, they got some others too. Big money. People make big money on these things.
Man, I've always wanted to go on one. So
that would be cool.
If anyone's ever listened to this, and listen, I'd love to go. Well, I'd love to go just watch it, honestly, because that sounds like a blast.
Well, I mean, look, I got this sailfish on the wall. Mm-hmm. And after later on, years later, I was probably 10, 11 years old, and my dad took us fishing on a trip, me and Michael, and we get out there, and I actually caught that. He's probably 7 foot, 6.5, 7 foot sailfish, a 10, 11-year-old boy. That was the coolest thing. He had it mounted for me, and it's on the wall right there across from us.
That's pretty.
Oh, it was cool, man. I was, I didn't, he had this deckhand by the name of Eddie Heiss, which was a great fisherman. He's passed on now, and that's what he done his whole life. But I remember him holding the end of the pole up, and I was 10, 11 years old. I was reeling that rod. But it's amazing to hear some of them old stories. Mm-hmm. Some of the old timers have to say. Yeah. So there's a lot that's going on out there in that water. Caught some boogers out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, you hear about that stuff all the time. We still got family in that business.
Yeah, Mark Kelly. He owns the Kelly Girl and the Miss Kelly.
Yeah, listen, if you're down
Lady Kelly,
if you're in Panama City and you're looking for and this isn't even our sponsor for today, but I will say that me and my buddy Chase went with us because when I owned a business. Remember we all went out and we took that trip on Mark's boat and. Chase has been on a lot of boats. He's been on a lot of fishing trips, and since he's been here and since he lived in Florida, and he tells me this day, he's like, if I go again and I'm paying for it, like I want to go with your cousin because that's the best trip I've ever had.
Well, he took us out there. We limited out on snapper. Yeah. And then he turned around and carried us out there, and we limited out or caught as many
beeliners.
White snapper, beeliners.
He caught a Spanish mackerel.
Oh, yeah. Your brother caught this big king mackerel.
Yep.
Trolling out there because he's trolling from spot
That's
to spot.
right. Chase caught a big king too. They both caught some king mackerels, and
man,
it's such a good time. And y'all go give them a shout. It's Lady Kelly Charters, Kelly Girl Charters. You'll have a great time. Yeah. But it's such a blast. But yeah, that's our family. You can kind of run the history.
I know these guys.
Yeah. Yep. They may or may not, probably won't give you a discount. So
hey, hold on. I'll tell you this. When we went out there one time, when you were a lot younger, we took a Zebco 33 out there. Is this not true?
I promise we did that.
And August Redding, which runs his own boat now, August Redding put 40-pound test line on a Zebco 33. I thought, well, let's see if this thing burns the reel up.
Yeah.
And it's actually a video on Kelly Billy's YouTube. And so we got down there and we were pulling these sows up.
Sow, if those don't know, is a giant snapper.
We was catching big ones and reeling them in, and we had it on a Shakespeare ugly stick. You couldn't even break that rod. But we were bowed up bringing these snappers up. Is that not true?
Biggest snapper we caught that day was caught on the Zebco 33 with the ugly stick. Yeah. You don't need these big, expensive, giant, fancy rods. You just need a Zebco 33.
Hey, I'll tell you this.
Not a sponsor.
That's my favorite reeling rod.
It is a good one.
Zebco. I love Zebco 33s. I want to bass fish a Zebco 33s.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you give me that bad boy, we're ready to roll.
That's great.
Ain't no bird nest on those Zebco 33.
No, that's right. That's true. That's true. So listen, hey, we are going to stop for just a second. We got a word from our sponsor today, and then we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. We got some great stories ahead, and then we got some really awesome stuff towards the end. So you'll want to hang around. We'll see you in just a second.
All right.
Today our sponsor is Rowell Roofing. Man, one thing, Luke and his whole crew over there, they know what they're doing. It's so valuable to have somebody that knows what they're doing, who's very professional, and honestly is so experienced in roofing. And if you're in the Panhandle area, if you're in Northwest Florida, give Rowell Roofing a call. The number will be on the screen. You're going to want to give them a call for your next roofing project. If keep their number for after a storm or anything like that. Being in the Panhandle, it's so valuable to have a number that of somebody you can trust, someone that's going to be there, and someone that's going to provide a quality job with quality materials.
Yes, that's right. And look, any kind of roof you want, that's what they do. They do it all.
Yeah.
So
metal, shingles.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that clay.
I think they do tiles too. Yes.
Do they do that?
Yes, I asked him about that one time. They do tile roofs, and so just give them a call. These guys know what they're doing. They got some great crews that take care of business, and I think you'll be pleased.
Yeah. And not to mention, Luke's just a fun person to be around. Yeah. He's just a good personality, and he's just a happy guy with a good smile on his face every time you talk to him. So listen, go give Rowell Roofing a call. They're a good family-owned business, and that's a sponsor. That's our sponsor for today. Yes. So let's get back to the show.
All right.
And we are back. So listen, I know that we have got some stories. I think you told me you got some stories to tell today. Something, some accounts, I guess. And so what you got today?
Okay, well, I've thought about fishing, and a lot of times you can combine fishing and hunting together sometimes.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I just based off of the history of the podcast and history of things that we've posted. Honestly, I don't know what you're about to say. So hold on a second. I just feel like it's.
Are you doing this to protect yourself?
I feel like it's about to get deep in here, and so hold on. I brought my waders just in case.
Well, you know that's. What do you use these waders for?
Well, I don't duck hunt as much anymore, but I used to use it for duck hunting. So,
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very good.
Well, listen, all I know is like I kept reading the comments, get you boots, because it's about to get deep in here. So if it gets as deep as it did last time, I'm going to need these waders. So go ahead. I'm ready now.
Well, I can tell you this. Just get ready, because this is pretty serious right here. And look, this may help some of you.
Yeah.
Now, this is the thing. You can run into all kind of situations, and I found that I do like, wood ducks are pretty.
Oh yeah.
And you can hear them, they'll be coming in. And have you shot many? You done a whole lot?
I've shot a few.
Yeah, I've shot a few myself. And two, back in the day, I didn't know that much. I mean, didn't have a dog, and I had no decoys or nothing. So I had to come up with a way to get them. And we didn't have a whole lot of shells, So there was this old man that lived close to what we call the duck hole. And so close to where your pawpaw lives. Mm-hmm. And so I noticed there was piles of ducks coming in there. Well, the only way I could have shot them was I was scared I'd pepper his house. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? I was sitting over at my grandpa lip bams, and they had some of them Muskogee ducks, the kind with the red around their eyes that are annoying. And I noticed how quickly they eat something and pass it. I'm talking about they'll mess up a patio. And so I thought, well, I got this great idea. So I went and come up with this plan, and it worked very well. So I'll tell you another place I done it at. But so what I done was I got me a reeling rod, and you want one that you can hide in the bushes, like this one here. And so I took and hooked me a brim hook on it, like a number 8, and hooked me about 3 to 4 pieces of corn out of a can, like a Jolly Green Giant corn.
Uh-huh.
And you want to put one little old lead on it, and you want a little reel like this so you can sling it a long ways, and it's got a lot of line. And so I threw this line out there. Them wood ducks were all over the place.
Wood ducks or Muskogee?
Wood ducks.
Okay.
So the Muskogees reminded me of Grandpa's house, but I went back over to this duck hole.
Okay.
So I'm at the duck hole, and of course I practiced it on the Muskogees, but I knew this was going to work. So I threw the line out there, and I had the corn on the end of it. And I just watched them. Duck number 1 ate it and passed it. It finally got to be about 25 ducks.
Uh-huh.
And so I started reeling my line up, and I got it where it was pretty taut. And I finally set the hook, and that last duck that had ate the corn, it kind of hung in his rectum.
Okay.
And they got a soft rectum. So it hooked him pretty good,
Uh-huh.
And I can tell you this, I've never caught fish that fought like this. It's like having a stringer slam full of fish.
Yeah.
Them ducks was flying, and I'm bringing them to me the whole time.
So it's like flying a kite.
Oh yeah, I'm reeling them up. I'm catching ducks. I'm unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I even done it one time over at the hammocks. There's a lake.
The subdivision?
The subdivision. Well, good night, man. You go in there and you think to yourself, now I don't know if this is illegal or not, because
Oh, it's definitely not I would say definitely not on the up and up.
It's been a long time ago. How long's the hammocks been in there? Okay, so I mean, because you couldn't have shot a gun in there, but there's a bunch of ducks landing in that pond, and it was beginning to build the hammocks, and I thought, man, them ducks, it's not good for them ducks to be there.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you right now, we fed some folks, but I can tell you this: you could catch all them ducks and keep them alive. And build your own duck. You don't have to kill them. I didn't say I killed them.
Just cut the hook off the end, just pull it right out.
Yeah, just take them off the stringer. But I caught, the most I've caught was at the hammocks in Lynn Haven behind Mosley High School. I caught 57 ducks on this rod right here. I'm talking about, you hear that line, you got to crank the, now I have had the line break. Oh, they fly off. It won't be in a V. Them jokers, is, they all hung together. Had 17 of them hang up the top of a pine tree one time.
So, are you serious?
Huh?
Are you serious? You kidding me?
I ain't even lying.
I think it's a good thing I wore the waders today. And it ain't because it's a duck hunting story. I'm glad it got deep in there. That definitely I'm glad I trust my inclination. It's I've had them on the whole time. I just expected it was gonna come at some point. So I'm gonna come prepared every time from here on out.
Well, I mean, don't be uncomfortable there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. I mean, don't you like duck?
Yeah, I know, not really. I'm not a big duck guy. That's why I don't hunt them. I don't like.
I can tell you this: when I lived out in Houston, Texas, one time, there's a guy made some. It's the best duck I ever had.
Really?
Yeah, he put some kind of packed them with rice and rum. I mean, anytime you have to pack something with something else.
I told somebody not long ago. Listen, somebody just invite me over for dinner, tell me a recipe, whatever. Change my mind. But I told someone, I said, if I got to soak it in buttermilk, make a salt brine, soak it in that too for the next 24 hours, got to turn around, tenderize it, season it, and then I got to make sure that I wrap it, put cream cheese in it, jalapenos, and wrap it and bake in two different directions and pour something on top of that. I want to tell you, whatever you eating ain't that good.
That's right, because you just made something
You
else.
just put lipstick on a pig.
That's it. That's it.
So I'm just. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that.
You want to borrow my reel?
I don't know. I think I'd like to keep my hunting license for the rest of my life. I got a lifetime license. I spent too much money on. I can't.
You do have a lifetime license?
I do.
Well, I'm too old now to buy one. I won't be long. I'll get mine for free.
You got grandfathered in. There you go.
Look, y'all. Jolly Green Giant corn. Little small reeling rod. Just remember. No ducks can be harmed. You can catch 30 and only keep, how many can you get? Two? Well, you can let the rest of them loose.
You just kill 2 a day. Create you a farm, and then you just take your 2 that you caught, and then you harvest them that day or whatever they call it. Whenever they're farm wise, if you take them as a farm, you take it. And anyway, but that's crazy. That's crazy.
No.
So So I would say that concludes today's episode. I think if we stay in here too long, it'll get so deep in there, get over our head.
I'll tell you this: if you don't like guns,
there you go. If you like fishing, boom, there you go.
Yes, sir.
So but I think that we'll conclude on that because that was a good episode or that was a good story and that makes for a good. This will be a good episode. It'll be enjoyable. So today I want to finish out with talking about the Lord and 2 weeks ago you talked about your testimony.
Yeah. And
honestly, I just the Lord kind of laid something on my heart in Deuteronomy 31:8. It says, and this is Moses talking to Joshua, and the Lord had told him Moses to tell this to Joshua, and he says, "Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord will personally go ahead of you. He will be with you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you." And so you got Joshua leading the children of Israel out of Egypt. Well, Moses had already done that, and Joshua was leading them into Canaan. And they've got a long way to go before the promise can officially be fully theirs. And so they got to face enemies. They got Jericho. They got all these different things that they're going to face. And you got Moses who's trying to encourage Joshua, and this is what the Lord told him, is that the Lord's going to go ahead of you. He'll never leave you. He'll never abandon you. And so today, if you're listening to this episode and you're trying your best, this is an encouragement for somebody who's trying to live the life, trying to walk this walk of faith and fight the good fight, I just want you to know, don't give up, because I believe the Lord is going ahead of you. He's in your tomorrow. He's in that. He's already taken and found provision and found a way when there seems to be no way. And so just trust that the Lord will never leave you nor abandon you, because He loves you and He cares about you. So that's all I got for today. I'll close this out in prayer and just be encouraged. Yeah. And so just know that the Lord loves you and He's on your side. He
does. He sure does.
All right, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Dear Heavenly Father God, I thank you for today. Lord, I pray over each and every listener that's listening to this podcast today or watching it, God. God, I pray that you give them strength. Lord, I pray a blessing over them, Lord. I pray that, God, that they have an opportunity to be introduced to you, introduced to your love, introduced to your grace and your mercy and your forgiveness. You're a loving Father. And Lord, I pray that we are aware and that we recognize that though our life may be difficult in this season, that we have a Heavenly Father who sits on the throne and has never left us and has never abandoned us, but He's going in our tomorrow, and He's trying and He is figuring out ways for us to be victorious and for us to see the other side, to see the promise that you have set before us. God, I pray that you go before us, guide our steps. Lord, we love you and we thank you for all that you've done, all that you're doing, and all that you're gonna do. And God, we give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise in Jesus' name. Amen. Listen, don't be a stranger. We're so glad you guys stopped by. Make sure you swing by Walmart, go get you a Shakespeare mini rod, and you guys don't tell the game wardens that you learned about catching wood ducks from the Lyin podcast.
Hey.
So we're gonna give our lawyer a call after this.
Hard times come.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Y'all have a good week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
It ain't got to be Jolly Green Giant corn.
Yeah, it can be great value, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right, we'll see you.
We'll see y'all.